welcome to this week's video. It's about to get very festive around here. Now, I'm double jobbing today. I think I landed my dream job, lads. I'm creating content for a garden centre, the Arboretum down in Carlow. And one of the things I'm doing is styling the mantelpiece. I'm going to be taking one of my old garlands and I'm going to be giving it a makeover to make a lovely, pretty fireplace. So I have 2 cameras and a light box today because I have to film in portrait, and I am also filming in landscape for YouTube because I know you guys love a bit of Christmas styling. I love it too. And I learned a lot of styling tips when it came to the mantelpiece from Nicole down in the Arboretum. So I'm going to share those with you and you're going to style with me. And we're also going to work together because I need to get the shots for Instagram. So let us move. My office is an absolute riot at the minute. So you'll probably notice the light changes in the living room, and that's because the light doesn't come in here in the afternoon. I get it all in the sunny back, which is great for the garden. But when it comes to shooting stuff in my living room, things can kind of get a bit blue toned. So I've actually got some lighting behind the scenes, what? So I'm going to give this a bash. Karen, you know my friend Karen, I'm always talking about her. Let there be light. She's like, girl, you need to invest in some lighting, because I'm always giving out about, I normally always use natural light, but I'm always giving out about the lighting this time of year. And she's like, she does product photography, so she's like, yeah, just get yourself a little light box and see how you get on. So you're probably like, Halloween didn't last long in your house, girl. I know, I think 2 weeks ago I had a decorate with me video on Halloween. But when you are working when you're working with brands, generally things have to be done sooner because they'll get like approval and things might need to be changed and tweaked. So I'll always kind of do something like 2 weeks before it actually goes online. So I'm just giving you some little insights. I think sometimes people, when you see a reel and they'll throw a transition, so they'll throw a bauble and bing, it's decorated, but actually hours of filming goes into that. So I need to get myself set up. Now I need to give you just a realistic before. Blondie was having a catnip party in the corner. My nephew has left some toys and I have some stuff that was for the fire. I don't have a shredder. I just burn documents in the fire. So, and lighter. So just a bit of a realistic before for you. If you're ever shooting anything for a client, or if you're, I don't know, you want to make your workflow a bit smoother, I always will do a shot list. I won't necessarily do like a script or anything because a lot of the stuff for this I can do a voiceover afterwards, but I always do a shot list because it's better to have like more footage than you need in case you miss a step and you need that footage. But having a shot list, if you are creating content, definitely helps. I wouldn't do it for like all of my videos or anything, but when I am, if a client has a specific brief that they want me to work to, I always make sure I do a shot list because it just keeps me on a straight and narrow. And then especially when you're doing like a before and after and a during, the during is very important. So if you skip a step that you're photographing or filming, it's really hard to kind of go back a few steps, especially when it comes to like decorating and styling. I just thought I would share that tip with you just to give you a little bit of insight into my workflow whenever I have to kind of do something. I try not to be too scatty and let the wind take me. I try to have a little bit of order. Hopefully that's helpful to some people. I know to some people it might be irrelevant, but I would just thought I'd give you some insight. Another behind the scenes that you might not think happens, a little bit of furniture moving around. So for me to get the shot that I want, hang on, why won't you zoom for me? I need some space. So when it comes to different camera lenses, this one, I don't think this is wide angle, but I'm set up now to film this and photograph it, but my couch sometimes gets in the way. So in order to get, depending on the lens I'm using, I have to do a little bit of furniture rearranging. So I just thought I'd share that with you. And also my tripod is not long enough. This is a travel tripod that I use sometimes, and there's all the slippers that was underneath my sofa. So I'm using this tripod to set up this camera so you guys can see what I'm doing. So this is my garland and what it is looking like before. You know what, it's not too bad. I think this garland is about 8 years old. It's just not as full. I know if I spread it out, it probably would. So my plan is I'm going to remove the old red bits off it, and I'm not going to throw these bits out. I'm going to keep them for something else, and I might keep some of the acorns, although I do have some dried fruits that I got. So I'm going to take off the berries, anything that's red, so the likes of this and the poinsettias. A lot of the stuff is glued in. I got florist wire to stick the new stuff on so I don't have to use a lot of glue. So yeah, I'm going to remove all of this, and then to make this fuller, I'm going to mix in a, what would we call it? A fluffy thing. Not the correct term, but you'll see what I mean. So to make my old garland fuller and fill in gaps, I mixed in a second one. So if you have, maybe if you get an old garland in a charity shop, if you're out thrifting, and if you have two thin ones, wrap them together and you get this lovely, full, luscious garland. Now another thing that's going against me, there's a rain shower. So there's a lovely rain shower which is giving me grey clouds, which is making it a little bit harder to film. My lighting isn't great. This is giving me harsh shadows and like inconsistency, so I'm just shooting in the natural light that I have. It's a bit dark on this camera, sorry, not on this camera, on this camera that I'm shooting the reel on. I don't know if you can see, it looks a bit dull, but I can adjust the brightness when I'm editing in Premiere Pro. So I just thought I would share that with you as well, a little insight that lighting can be an issue when it's raining. Okay, I want to share this sticky, this is amazing. So normally I drill, I have some holes in my wood fireplace because I light my fire in winter, not all the time, whenever I'm feeling cozy, and I drill stuff to hang it because I'm always afraid of it falling into the fire, kaboom. So Nicole actually recommended this in the Arboretum. So it's called nano gel tape. She says she swears by it and that will hold a lot of weight. And all I've done is, so you'll see with the garland, I went for a slight dip here because I'm going to put a few bits up here. So I taped the side, the top, I have tape in the front and the sides, and it's solid. Like, I might just put a bit more here, but yeah, I'm actually quite happy with that. It says it's reusable as well. So it says it will hold down rugs and carpets, picture frames, fix trailing extension leads, adhere keys, glasses and pens, store tools, DIY equipment, use in the car to hold your phone, handy, hold up soap dispensers in the shower. The possibilities are endless. So it says if the nano gel tape gets dirty, simply rinse under a tap until clean. It then becomes 100% sticky again. That's great, isn't it? It does say avoid using on matte painted walls and some other surfaces. I have a painted fireplace with a sheen to it, and I actually did peel a little bit up. I got some stuck to my nail as well, and it didn't lift the paint. Yeah, just a little tip if you are like me and you normally drill things into the fireplace. There you go. That's the sleeve of it there. You can take a little screenshot. It's time to add the bling. When I was chatting to Nicole, so she gave me these tips. So she said you start by fluffing up your old garland. So she was like, add your fluff, and then she said add your lights and start in the middle and work your way out with the lights. So I would normally start one side and go to the other end, and she said start in the middle with these ones and then work your way out, so middle out, and she says that way you'll get a nice consistent lighting in your garland. And then she said start with your decorations, and another tip she gave was start with your large ornaments into your smaller ones. So she said start with the center. So I have a bow that's going on the center, and then a bigger flower here and a bigger flower here. And she said start with your big stuff because they're like your focal point, and then she says add your smaller bits. So if you add a small bauble here, make sure to add one the other side. So again, normally I would start one side and work my way over, and like one side might be really nice and the other side might be a bit crap. So another thing as well with the lighting, there was a sign. So when I was picking lights, it told you how much it costs to run the set of lights. So it was like, I think I took a screenshot so I wouldn't forget, but it could be like 17 cents to switch them on for a day, or it gave the breakdown anyway. But I did get battery ones. This one runs off the mains because I have an outlet just here, but I did mostly get battery stuff so that it could be a bit more like you just pop the batteries in, and the battery lights have a timer on them, so they're 6 hours on and then 18 hours off. So let's add the bling. So my regular viewers may remember last year's Christmas video. So I kind of went for a similar theme to the tree. So I have this colour in this design for my Christmas tree, and I've been collecting them flowers over the past kind of couple of years. So my mantle is a similar colour theme to what my Christmas tree is gonna be. Don't worry, we're not putting up the tree in this week's video. So there is, once you mix in a bit of foliage, like you could totally leave it like that, but you know I'm not gonna leave it like that. So out here I have some smaller items just to kind of go a little bit extra. So I have some battery powered candles that will go on the mantelpiece. That's just some florist wire that I got. And then this is a bit of me, isn't it? So you'll notice they're in twos. Is that one in twos? Oh yeah, there is. That one goes there. So if I put one on one side, I'll do it on the other. But how cute are these? We've got some little birdies, and I have them in two colours. I have some roses, have some of these cute, very floral, vintage style baubles. Definitely a bit of me. And you do not need to put, oh hang on, I got to look at that one. So pretty. You do not need to put this much on. I actually don't know if I'll get all of these bits on, but I am going to try. Look at the little handbag as well. I kind of went for like the colour scheme all goes together, but I picked bits that like are a little bit vintagey, a bit on the cutesy side. Look at the little shoe as well. I just think it's so cute. So I'm gonna start with, I think, the flowers, then the baubles, and then having fun just dotting in the smaller items. But again, I'd say if you wanted, you could just put some new foliage on it, mix in a bit of, so if you want to mix two garlands together to make a full, add lights, you could leave it with flowers in a bow and a bit of foliage. So you could totally leave it like that if you did want to just refresh an old garland. But we're going all out, we're going all out. Let's get these baubles on. Miss Blondie is being curious, so I'm really happy with this. It just picks up on like the colours in my room, like my couch and stuff. And when the tree goes up, I turned off the lights just so I could kind of see what I was doing. Sometimes I think the twinkly lights can throw you off when you're doing it, but I followed the rules of if I do one this side, I do one the other side, so it is symmetrical. Now I do have some leftover garland. I cut this piece off the one that I mixed together, so I have some of this. I have 3 flowers, 1 bauble. Now I have a confession. 1 bauble was lost. I dropped it. I'm raging. I'll get in trouble for that. So I dropped the bauble, which, oh no. But I have garland, flowers, a sprig. So I've just found this. So I think I'm going to wrap this around that, put some battery lights on it, put the flowers on it, and stick it to the top of the mirror, because then I think that will just give a bit of height. I'll try it anyway. I have some spare. I'd rather use it than not use it. So Blondie, will you help me? I wonder, can I blame breaking the bauble on Blondie? It was Blondie, it wasn't me. I forgot to add my lights, so I'm after putting lights on, and then I found some of the sprigs of, why can't I do wisteria. This looks so cute. Kind of looks like a flower crown, and I could turn that into a circle and it would make a cute wreath. So that is gonna go up there, but I have to go get my ladder first. So now what I do is I grab my tea off the ladder. You make yourself a cup of tea after you do your bits, not during. Tea is reward. So now I clean up, and this time of year, because the lighting doesn't be great and obviously it gets darker earlier, I try to film between the hours of like 10 in the morning. If you try to film any earlier, it's still quite dark, even with like the clocks changing and stuff. So this time of year, I have kind of the window 10 and 4. It gets a bit less later on, like December, January, like around, I think it just be dark by like 5, doesn't it? 4:30, 5, but the dusk creeps in, so you have an even smaller window when it comes to filming videos and stuff. So I just thought I would share a bit of insight into what I was doing, because I think sometimes you think, yeah, I'll just decorate my mantelpiece, but really so much work goes into it. Like I'm filming now for 6 hours and I'm not even finished, but it doesn't matter because I love it. So what I actually do now is, so I've checked off my shot list for as I was doing it, and I take my memory cards and I put them into the hard drive so I do not lose footage, especially when it's for someone you're working with. The last thing you want to do is lose footage. That has happened to me before, which is why I put it straight into the hard drive. And then what I do is, I don't often film the end pieces same day. I'll do it the next day. And hang on, why am I not zooming? And the main reason for that is it's nice to kind of come back and with fresh eyes when you've had a rest. So my workflow is I'll get stuck in and I'll paint something, or I'll do something, or decorate something. Then I'll clean up, I'll decompress, I'll put all my footage into the hard drive, make sure I have like my shots and label them and whatever. And then I will make a list of the things I need for the final zhuzhin. And what I need for the zhuzh is I need to go get some batteries, and I want to get some logs for my basket. I have no stuff to light the fire, so I want to get a shot, and I'll write that down. I'll write a list of things I want to get end shots of. And I think my camera isn't zooming because the lighting, the camera just wants to zoom on the lovely fireplace. I don't blame you. I look wrecked compared to the fireplace. Fireplace looks lovely. So yeah, I'll get my logs because I want to light the fire so you can see the whole thing lit up. So I'll generally take photos of it in daylight with no lights on, and then I'll wait until tomorrow, like afternoon, and when it starts to get dark, I will light the fire. Win-win, because I get the fire lit, but then I'll take those cozy shots where there'll be lights on top, lights on the mantle, and then the fire will be lit. So that is the insight. So something like this would take me like 2 days to shoot and make a video, and then it would probably take about anywhere from 6 to 8 hours editing, depending on what it is. Probably 4 hours for the YouTube video, about an hour and a half for the reel, and then a set of stories could be another 2 hours. So just thought I would, yeah, share that. Sometimes we think things take, so what is sped up online, and a 20-minute video could take a lot longer than 20 minutes. But one thing I will say about doing this is, normally I would, if I'm doing a Christmas video, like last year and the year before, I'll try and do my fireplace in one video, and then I'll try and do the Christmas tree, and I'll be rushing and trying to get it all in the one video. But I'm not going to do that this year, so I'll do a separate video where we do the Christmas tree together. That'll be fun, and I'm excited because I was able to give this more time than I normally would, and I wasn't having to rush it. So I'm feeling good. So the hard work is kind of done. Editing is the hardest, but the hard work is kind of done. I'm going to clean up. Oh, the Hoover, clean it up. And then I'll check back in with you tomorrow, and then I'll give you the end fancy, zhuzhy look around it. Are you ready for the final reveal? So my last thing to do is, I actually wasn't at home at all today, and I was in town all day, and it is now, I have one, it's actually the perfect time. I have 1 hour until it gets dark enough. So I've timed it that I'm gonna photograph and show you the fireplace and take imagery for the reel with the lights off, because it looks really nice with the lights off. And then I'm going to light the fire and turn on all the twinkles and get shots of it in full twinkle, because that's the money shot, isn't it? So I'm going to, yeah, I'm gonna show you what it looks like in daylight, and then I will show you what it looks like in full twinkle. Oh, it's cozy. And then, yeah, I'll check in with you.
All the chimneys and the candles have a certain glow, a secret and a song, even church bells sing along, and the children making angels in the snow. Oh, I fall into peace and silence on a very special Christmas Eve.
So now, what time is it? Time for tea. After you do anything, you just have a little cup of tea to decompress. So if you are buying decor bits this year, hang on, I need to put my tea down. So if you are changing up your pieces of decor this year, I was very conscious of picking things that I could reuse again, non-Christmas related. So you'll notice there's lots of foliage in my garland and little rose flowers. Now some of them are twinkly, but things like this could definitely be reused in a spring wreath, or if you're doing like a spring or Easter tablescape. So I was trying to pick things that would kind of have a dual function, and a lot of the greenery as well can be reused for different things. So if you wanted to use it again in spring, granted you're not going to have a spring mantle, but if you wanted to do something in spring, I was thinking if you took off all of the decor pieces and stuck dried flowers, you could do something like that. So there's loads of ideas. I think it's safe to say a lot of us are going to be more spend conscious this Christmas. So you can just, like I always say, take the idea and make it your own. Maybe you already have some garlands and bits and pieces, and you might just want some smaller little bits to add to it. Then yeah, take the idea, make it your own. My camera keeps zooming in and out. I'm sorry, I've just copped it. I'm so sorry, my camera keeps auto-focusing on the fireplace. All of the pieces that I used to style this, bar the stuff that was already my own, is from the Arboretum, and if you go down, their Christmas section is absolutely amazing. It's about 15 minutes from, about an hour's drive from Dublin. It's in Carlow, and it was Karen who actually brought me down there about, I want to say 2 years ago. I think it was around about the time of you know what, and we could get out of Dublin, so the restrictions were lifted and you could move around, and she's like, come on, we go to this garden centre. And we drove down and we visited some gardens that were around that area, and the cafe, if you do go down, get a breakfast, go down early, get a breakfast, have a cup of tea. That's what we do. And the cafe is amazing there, just an FYI. And then yeah, normally I would go down for like during spring and summer for their garden bits. That's where I actually bought, I don't know if you saw the video where I bought an apple tree. I got my bird bath and my apple tree, the coronet one, from the Arboretum. But yes, they have a beautiful decor section as well. I also just want to say thank you. I have two thank yous. First of all, you guys who watch the videos and support me anytime I work with a brand, because I would absolutely love to be in a position where I could have someone help me film, and unfortunately that's not possible with my AdSense revenue. So by working with brands, it just helps me grow the channel, and hopefully one day I'll be able to have someone, and maybe more, some helpers. And working with brands that I love and are sound helps me on my way to that. And also thank you to the lads in the Arboretum for letting me do my dream job, which was styling this mantle. I'm also going to be doing a woodland, I think you guys are going to love this. If you watch my Sunday garden video, I think you're going to like the wreath. So I'm going to do a video where I take the wreath from last year. I had put some like dried oranges and stuff on it, and I'm going to do a woodland themed wreath. But I'm going to do that in a separate video, or else this will be 10 million years long. And I think the woodland video, or the woodland wreath video, I will just get straight in. I don't think I'll share the behind the scenes because you guys know this stuff. But I hope you enjoyed that extra bit of info today, just to see what goes on behind the scenes. Lots of moving the camera around, taking shots. Yeah, it's not that exciting. So now what happens is editing. So if you keep an eye on my Instagram, you can check out the final reel. This video will be going up before I think that Instagram video goes up. So yeah, keep your eyes peeled out for it. Hopefully I edit it nicely and you enjoy it. If you're new to my channel, you know the drill. Hit the subscribe button, check out my other videos. For my regular viewers, cheeky thumbs up. Cheeky thumbs up for Christmas in November. That tree, I'm looking at the bare space, the tree has to go up. And I will see you in the next video.